Hey everyone, Melissa here and welcome back to my channel. So it is Challenge Friday over at Hip Kit Club, and this week we are working with this gorgeous Christmas themed sketch by Sophie. I don't have my November kits, well I have them now, but I didn't have them when I made this layout, so I used the beautiful October 2020 Hip Kits, and unfortunately, and my apologies, but I thought I had filmed the mixed media part of this layout, and when I checked my phone, it wasn't even going. So obviously I hadn't pushed record. I was sure that I did, but anyway, there's nothing I can do about it. I didn't want to recreate that because I love how it turned out, but basically I used the three Lindy's Magicals that come in the colour kit. They are Marigold Yellow Orange, Red Hot Polka Orange, and Autumn Maple Crimson, and they are all shimmery, beautiful colours. And I just did the reverse packaging technique, which is where you put your paper on top of the packaging instead of the packaging on top of the paper. And so I'm so happy with how it turned out, and I decided for this layout to focus on some of the products that I haven't used. And the reason I haven't used them is because I've either had a main kit challenge or a product focus, like I had Simple Stories as a product focus. And basically there's some Pebbles products like those ephemera pieces and the floral pieces, and also sticker sheet that I hadn't even barely touched, and so I decided with this one I would make an effort to use them because they're absolutely beautiful. So I have put those florals, I've cut some of them apart, and I've put them at the top of my what I'm creating at the moment, because I thought I would use them kind of to represent the Christmas trees. I decided not to do a Christmas layout for this one. I thought that just because the sketch is showing Christmas trees, it doesn't mean you have to take it literally. And I didn't want to create a Christmas layout with this beautiful fall themed kit because I still have a lot of autumn photos and lockdown photos to scrap. So one of the challenges or assignments for the design team, or for those of us that are having our layouts presented as examples of the challenge in the Facebook members group, our assignment was to create at least one handmade embellishment. So I'll get to that soon. So I might as well say it now. I decided to create a banner inspired by the Simple Stories stickers in the book that I just showed you. They're like a layered banner. Obviously in a sticker form they are pair layered, but they are not because they are flat. So I decided to make it dimensional, and that navy blue piece of paper there, that is one of the Pocket Life cards, and I love it. And so basically I want to create a banner embellishment piece that's going to sit below my photos. So that's why I've gone as full on as I have in making my layout up to this point, because I already knew I was going to make this, and I wanted to have a look at the scale of everything else, but rather than making the embellishment first. So I'm just playing around. I've fussy cut those mushrooms and florals off another Pocket Life card. Pocket Life cards are another example of something from this kit that I haven't used yet, so I definitely wanted to make an effort to use a couple of them. You don't have to keep them in their card form, you can cut them in part for embellishments or use them as layers. And I've also, on the two outside photos, I've put cards under there as well. So I'm just, with these Pebbles embellishment pieces, I've got a very large white border, and I didn't want that, so I'm just fussy cutting them out. You'd never know that they had that border, and I just like the way they look without a large border. You could keep them in as well, they look totally fine. It's up to what you like, what your preference is. So I've cut this piece of card, Pocket Life card, the navy one, into a banner, and then you'll see how I cut my banner is just to find the middle, cut up, and then a cut across to make that sort of triangular shape. So here's the two, there's the floral pieces and there's the other ephemera pieces. I just put them on trays so I can go through. So I'm wanting a floral piece to go on the end of my banner, and I've got that Autumn Days foam banner, and I'm going to layer the banners. So I'm wanting orange to be the main colour in the florals, so I love this one here, and once again I'm cutting off that white border, and yeah, it's worth taking the time. It's not hard to fussy cut as far as cutting goes. So yeah, I probably could have sped this up or cut it out completely, but in the past I have had people asking me how I fussy cut. So as you can see, I'm using my little close to my heart scissors, and I turn the piece that I'm cutting, I turn the paper, not the scissors, and that makes it easy. The way to get better at it is obviously practice and to cut a variety of shapes and sizes. So I've gone to my sewing machine and I've added some machine stitching just for texture and interest onto that banner. I think I've distressed the edges as well, and now I'm just wanting to position things and see how they look before I adhere them. So I'm trimming off those tiny little, I don't know what they are, little string pieces, because you're not going to see them, and they if I cut them off, it enables me to move that piece closer to the floral. Sometimes I do find it hard altering embellishments that are pre-made, but you've got to make them work for you, and it makes them more unique as well. So that's the idea there. I'm going to have it underneath my 3 photos. Several times I pick up that middle photo and glue it back down, but this Nouveau adhesive is very forgiving, and this cardstock I'm using is from the cardstock kit, and it's the marshmallow white cardstock. It's incredibly thick and perfect for mixed media, and I didn't even put any gesso down, which it's kind of lazy, to be honest. And I also like the way that mixed media can look without gesso, and I knew I wasn't adding a whole lot of water or layers, so I wasn't going to warp my paper. So I've put some craft foam just under that banner just to lift it up a bit, and I'm gluing it down now. I'm loving it. I'm so happy with how it turned out. I've got a few of these pebbles leaves left, so I definitely want to add one of them. Thought about adding it there, but it's getting lost with the houses. Thought about adding it there, but not loving it there. And then I think I'm adding it there, but then I move it down here. So I love how that looks. It definitely stands out a lot better than if it's layered over the elements. Now, about these photos, during our lockdown, doing a lot of cleaning, found this cute little ladybird costume, and then Ava put it on. It's size 2 to 3, so it's almost too small for her. She put it on. She didn't like it. It was itchy, but she put it on long enough for me to take some photos, and it takes a few photos to get a nice one, and I love the outtakes as well. So the sketch has 3 photos in it, and I decided to be true to the sketch and have 3 photos. So I think I stick to the sketch pretty well, add a few of my own things. Like I said, don't go with the Christmas tree shapes, but I add those houses to represent being at home during the lockdown, and I guess my mixed media, the way I put my mixed media on kind of represents those Christmas trees as well. What else can I say? Yeah, so I wanted to bring in some of these pebble stickers because I hadn't used many, or if any, like I said. So I've got a little hey phrase, and then I needed something between my photos. I really, really wanted to use the Pocket Life cards between my 2 photos on each edge, but because I don't want to cut them down, I've left them the size that they are, which is 3 by 4. There is a bit of a gap, so I've added those 2 house stickers and popped them up with some dimensional adhesive, and then I'm just adding some of these tiny little floral stickers next to the houses, and they just end up so super cute. It's just a small detail that adds a bit more embellishment to my layout. So also, I'm not sure if I show it on camera, but I've added a lot of dimensional adhesive behind the floral on my homemade banner, just because I want that to be lifted up and to be a real feature. And of course, I always love to add dimension onto my embellishing. I'm not a big fan of flat layouts. I've said this before, unless it's in a traveler's notebook or some kind of mini album where I need it to be flat. So I tied my twine there. That's twine from my stash. I just tied it into a bow, and it's looking really cute. So here you can see I'm using these just dimensional adhesive to manipulate and position that black and white leaf where I wanted it. As well as dimension, I needed to bring it over a bit, but because I had glued it, it was a bit stuck. So adding some of those beautiful people's hearts, and then looking at my title, which I ended up doing off camera because I was getting a bit stressed with what to call this and how to make it work. So I've gone with Sweet Funny You because she is sweet and very funny all the time. Adding some black Heidi Swap colour shine from my stash. Yeah, what I will say, and I say this every video, but I want to say is if you love these kits, and honestly they are better and better every single month. I adore these kits. I loved it when I was a subscriber. I love being on the design team now. But if you don't want to miss out, you do need to become a subscriber. So I'll have the link below to head on over to the Hip Kit Club website. Also, I think in this instance I have used elements from all of the kits. I get all of the kits, and yeah, there's not one specific kit that I've used here. Like I said, I've made this kind of a product focus for me, which was to use products I hadn't used already, which was a lot of Pebbles products. Yeah, and back to the layout, I just wanted to add those mushrooms since I'd cut them, and I loved how they looked nestled under my journaling, so I needed something else, and the sketch showed a bit of mixed media at the bottom in a strip, and so I've just added some paper that I've torn, and I love how it grounds my whole layout and adds that beautiful navy blue as well. So just trimming off the excess, and I've added my journaling as you have seen, and my layout is pretty much done. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you head on over to the member forum. I have the link below, and play along with this week's challenge, which is the sketch, for a chance to win. I think you get a voucher to the shop. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll be back again soon.